All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to talk about the Errol Spence Keith Thurman fight that we need to get going on, but unfortunately, may very well not happen. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in 147 pounds, talking about probably the biggest fight that can be made at 147 pounds, or should I say, has a chance to be made at 147 pounds, and that is Errol Spence Jr., called The Truth, and Keith one-time Thurman for Errol Spence Jr.'s belts. However, there is a boxing insider that goes by the name of the Problem Broner that says, hey man, not so quick. Let's talk, but before I get into that, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. Also, this video right here is for my guy, King Judah, who is the biggest Keith Thurman fan that I know. And through all of this Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence Jr. stuff, he has stayed and maintained his fanship for the great future Hall of Famer, Keith one-time Thurman. And if you're telling me that he ain't that Keith Thurman ain't a Hall of Famer, then you need to go grab Tim Bradley by the back of the collar and yank him up out of there, because Keith Thurman is every bit as good as Tim Bradley. The only difference is that Keith Thurman does not have a big signature win like Tim Bradley has against Manny Pacquiao. Keith Thurman has very good wins against Sean Porter, Robert Guerrero, Danny Garcia, and the like, being a unified champion at 147 pounds. I thought he was very close to beating Manny Pacquiao, and if it wasn't for that layoff and the injuries that he had, he probably would have. But anyway, it looks like he's in position to get a shot at a signature win, and that is against Errol "The Truth" Spence Jr., recently ducked by Terrence Crawford, and my #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world, because I had to yank Terrence Crawford up out of there for not taking that fight. And there's all kind of stuff we've talked about around that one, but we will not belabor it in this particular video. However, Adrien Broner gave an interview and he said Errol Spence Jr. ain't fighting that dude. Now, Adrien Broner has been popping off in the lip a lot lately about the PBC and blaming Al Heyman for all of his woes, as if, Adrien, you ain't got something to do with those layoffs, okay? I don't believe for anything that they just go out of their way to sit you on that bench. A lot of your problems, Adrien Broner's problems, have to do with Adrien Broner's mouth, right? And he also just recently backed off, retracted his statement that he pulled out of the Omar Figueroa fight for mental illness, and says he doesn't have that anymore. Sorry, brother, it doesn't really work like that. It may be in remission, but dude, it's floating there if you were not lying on it to begin with. But whatever, it is what it is. He says that Errol Spence Jr. is not going to fight Keith Thurman. Now, why does he say that? I don't know if he talked to Errol Spence Jr. individually or, personally, or whether or not he's just going off of what Errol Spence Jr. has said many, many times in the past, which is that he is never going to fight Keith Thurman. And why would he not fight Keith Thurman? Because Keith Thurman ducked Errol Spence Jr. for several years when Errol Spence Jr. was on the come up. And Errol Spence Jr. had to go all the way over there to the UK, had to go to the other side of the street and fight on a matchroom card to get his championship against Kell Brook, where he could have fought Keith Thurman for his. And then after Errol Spence Jr. beat Kell Brook, Keith Thurman continued to refuse to fight him, winds up having a bunch of injuries, dropping his WBC belt, taking a long time off, then losing his WBA super title to Manny Pacquiao. And Errol Spence Jr. was forced to go clean up what he dropped and pick those belts up, which he did by getting the WBC off of Sean Porter and getting the WBA super title off of Yordenis Ugas. Right now, just as a bit of clarification, Manny Pacquiao got the belt from Keith Thurman, but then Manny Pacquiao was stripped for some reason by the WBA. Can't remember. And Yordenis Ugas was elevated to the championship. So that's why Ugas had the belt. But anyway, didn't matter because Ugas went on ahead and beat Manny Pacquiao. Anyway. So boom, he winds up being the champion, which begs the question of when the regular champion who was was he I don't know, maybe he wasn't the regular champion at the time, Manny Pacquiao. Regardless, Errol Spence Jr. got those belts the hard way, went and worked and got those, but when he could have originally just got it straight off Keith Thurman. So Errol recently said that he wasn't going to do it, even though after that, the WBC ordered the fight. So you would think that that would be next. But Errol Spence Jr. has been very, very silent about it, has been clear that he doesn't know when or who he's going to fight next. So it's not for certain whether or not he's going to maintain the stance rather that he's had with Keith Thurman. My personal opinion on the matter is I hope he changes his mind. I hope he fights Keith Thurman because that is a big fight that can take place. It is a good fight that can take place because Keith Thurman is not a soft touch. I know there's a lot of people that have lost faith in Keith one-time Thurman, but and yes, he is an older fighter and he may not be what he was when he was the undisputed champ, when he was the unified champion rather, and beat Danny Garcia and he beat Keith Thurman. But he is definitely a very skillful fighter. He is somebody that has been on the big stage before. He's a cerebral fighter. He's a talented fighter. He's got a big punch. And obviously there's a lot of people that are going to say, yeah, but what about his body and his ability to take body shots? Errol Spence Jr. is going to eat him up. Well, you know what they say, man, you got to actually do it in the ring. To say that it'll happen is one thing, to actually do it is something else. Because truth be told, yeah, I've definitely seen Keith Thurman get cracked to the body. He got cracked to the body by Robert the Ghost Guerrero. He also got cracked something nasty to the body by Manny Pacquiao, which I really think was the thing, that changed the fight for Manny Pacquiao. But you got to see it. And also, I want to see it because, shoot, man, I want to see Errol Spence Jr. I like Keith Thurman, don't get me wrong, but I'm pretty confident Errol Spence Jr. will win that fight, and it will be an opportunity for Errol Spence to basically solidify his legacy because he is, and to the extent that I really care about that, to be honest. However, it is a way for him to say, look, man, I cleared this division out of everybody that was there, that was a champion when I got there, and that was willing to fight me. And honestly, I think he can say the same thing about Terrence Crawford because of the just ridiculousness that Terrence Crawford went through not to fight him. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.